This is a BMW M240i. So it's not an actual M car, it's an M Performance car. And this one is even fitted with some M Performance add-ons. Make sense? I know, not really, but it can do this. So even though this isn't a proper M2, it's still properly quick. Under the hood is BMW's new B58 3-liter turbocharged straight-six engine. So it makes 335 horsepower and 369 pound-feet of torque. That makes it only 30 horsepower less than the actual M2, but matches it for torque. So when it's fitted with a 6-speed manual like this one is, it can get from 0 to 60 in around 4.3 seconds, which is still damn quick. So let's go for a drive. Now this specific car has some goodies from BMW's M Performance division. So it has that cool black front splitter, this funky M Performance steering wheel, and most importantly, a limited slip differential. That last bit helps with smoky burnouts, as you saw before, and it really helps put the power to the ground through hard cornering. It really helps get that torque, all that torque down. And even though it's an expensive option, almost $3,000 or so, it's going to be worth it if you want to do some hard driving or even some track use. The limited slip diff also is a lifesaver in the rain because this thing's very torquey, so it likes to kick its tail out when the road's even a little bit wet, especially on these summer Bridgestones. But we took this thing out after a little bit of a rain shower, and that limited slip diff allowed us to have some fun skids without killing ourselves. So why buy this car over an M2? Well, I think it's actually a very specific customer, because this car, this specific one, is actually quite a bit more money than an M2. I mean, the M240i starts at a little bit less than the M2, but with options, especially these M Performance bits, it actually ends up being a decent amount more. So why would you buy this car over the real M2? Well, I think it's a very specific customer, actually, because this car, the M240i, seems to be like the car you buy if you want 90% of the performance of an M2, but you'd rather have a more comfortable everyday driver. But if you want that everyday comfort, you really kind of need to trade some of the M2's precision and connectivity, the feedback that it has, because unfortunately the M240i is a bit inert. It's just a bit numb. It's very accurate. It's a great handling car and it's incredibly capable, but it just doesn't have that feeling of connectivity, that purity that the M2 has. Performance-wise, it's not that far off from an M2. Performance-wise, I mean, you have to be properly nuts to not think that this thing is quick, because it is. It's quick, it handles really well, it's very, very accurate. You can place this thing exactly where you want. I'm not in love with the steering though, having said that. The numbness I can actually take, because, I mean, every new sports car is kind of numb nowadays. But it's just, I don't know, I don't feel entirely connected to the front end, so I don't feel entirely confident every time I push into a corner hard. Having said that, unless you're really pushing this thing 9-10 tenths, it's fine. It's a very good handling car at 8 tenths. It does look the business though. Those black wheels, that perfect stance, and the new M Performance bits really make it look aggressive, like a proper M car, even though it's not a proper M car. But still, it looks great, and the new display wheel too looks really good. I mean, personally, I didn't actually use it all that much, but it is cool to show off to your friends, and the actual wheel feels really nice, the Alcantara wrapped wheel. Overall, I think the M240i is a very good car. Personally, I would go with the M2 for the same price. but that's because I can live with the extra discomfort for the handling benefits. However, if you want a more comfortable, practical, livable, everyday sports car, the M240i offers 80 to 90% of the M2's performance while being that more comfortable everyday driver. So while the two cars might be priced similarly, I don't necessarily think that one is better than the other. Both cars serve slightly different purposes, and if the M240i's purpose better suits your lifestyle, then maybe it's the better choice.